This is crazy.
I know.
Welcome to episode 1 of Playground Politics. I'm your host, Rack. To my left, my illustrious co-host.
The most illustrious co-host in the game.
It's Mr. Crispy Coyle, dude. Back.
Yeah, I'm back.
He's back. Dude was subterranean for, I don't know, a year now?
Yeah, it's been dude, it's been a long time. It's been a couple years.
Well, dude,
easy.
Part of the reason that I even wanted to do this podcast was to make sure that I got Crispy back on the internet.
I appreciate that.
and sticking around some.
I appreciate that. You know, this ain't going to be a one and done type deal.
No, so what we're looking to do is publish this once a week. So we're thinking Saturdays. I'm thinking shortly after the week's like sneaker releases may be appropriate. So, you know, definitely stay tuned to our social media and the show's social media for the exact specifics that we decide on. But I'm thinking like 11 a.m. Saturday.
I think that's a crusher time. You know what I mean? I think it's when most people are waking up.
It's when the original X-Men animation show used to pop off.
I knew we were going to be talking about X-Men, but I didn't know it was going to be this fast.
I'm just saying, it's throughout my life, 11 at Saturday has been a thing. So
it goes from Saturday morning cartoons to Saturday morning podcast. I like it. I mean,
dude,
you know, if you look at the X-Men as a whole, I think we measure up. You know what I mean? Me, the Hulk. You, Wolverine. I think we got this.
I think absolutely. So basically, yeah, we're back. But first off, I think one of the first things I want to say is a huge thank you for the early support. Like, I think that's been insane.
Oh my God. Number one, all the people that have sent like little small messages and stuff like that on Instagram and YouTube in the last couple years since I've been gone. A lot of people have reached out recently and asked about this and how they're going to see it, and information will come out. Obviously, we're taping this, so when you hear it, you know what I mean? I'm looking forward to seeing the feedback and all that kind of stuff, but thank you so much to everybody that already subscribed and everybody that already hit us up. It's amazing, and it's cool. And I think we might be #1 on iTunes before we even post.
Immediately. On all charts.
Right.
Except country,
right,
which obviously is
I think Joe Rogan,
Little Nas X.
Joe Rogan might have us beat, but I'm not like 100%.
Not for long. And
not
that's really thanks to you guys. In seriousness, hundreds of you subscribed before there was anything to see, and that's so dope. So what we want to do with this is every Saturday it will come out not live, but first on YouTube, and very shortly after on all your favorite podcast players. And so there's or platforms. There's so many that I don't want to list them. That's gonna take a little bit too much time. But if you listen to a podcast anywhere,
you'll find it, dude. It's out there.
And on YouTube, obviously, you get the video.
Oh, my God. You get to see this.
I don't know how interesting it'll be, but if that's the way you want to consume us.
You get to check the fits, you know what I mean? You get to see what I hit them with, you know what I mean?
What do you have on foot today?
Oh, right now I have the Pigeon. I have not the original Pigeon. I have the 577 because I looked outside and I saw cumulus clouds in the distance, and I was like, yo, what am I going to hit them with? And then I looked and I realized that these were actually waterproof. Wow. So I hit all angles, you know what I mean? I'm that dude that checks.
So wait, dude, hold that out for a second, because one of the cool things I think if you're watching the podcast on video is I kind of have a hand cam so that we could cut to this kind of B-roll stuff.
Oh my God.
Innovative.
Did we ever mess around?
Innovative.
I really don't think we ever did.
Great pick for your kicks today. I'm wearing the KD12, which I'm not going to try to take off my foot elegantly.
Yeah, dude, you know, I never actually lace my kicks all the way, because you never know when you might have to do a Brazilian jiu-jitsu match with somebody.
I hear you. And that's a real thing.
Easy access. And
so I love the KD12, though. I do want to say, you know, maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit, but it's
the size of Kevin Durant's actual foot. We need to speak on that too.
We should speak on how weirdly shaped as well. But but I do like the sneaker a whole bunch, and I've been wearing it and trying to call attention to it. I think like one of the things that
you got my attention. I noticed it,
dude. It's funny because sometimes Nike does like something really good,
and no one peeps.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Even when they're that big with all of the marketing they have. So anyway, I love that sneaker. That's what I have on foot today. But A little bit about, I guess, why we wanted to do a podcast. So like Crispy has alluded, a lot of you guys reached out. You were excited about this.
Absolutely.
I think my largest following is on Twitter, maybe. Anyway, I'm obviously very opinionated if you know me at all. And so people have sort of
this dude
looked to me to have one. And then, you know, I didn't want to be talking to myself.
No.
So when we connected, both of us here in the Milky Way galaxy, more specifically on Earth, more specifically the North American continent, specifically the state of Pennsylvania,
even
and then
more specifically,
more so here in the wonderful city of Philadelphia.
the most wonderful
It
city.
can't be any more specific than that.
No,
It would be
no.
intrusive.
We'll get down the streets and like
Dude, by the way, I took a exit 37. It was called Street Road. What a creative name.
Is that, they had none left, and they were like, what can we call this, John?
My GPS was like, make the exit at exit 37, Street Road.
There's another called Avenue Park. It's banging.
Anyway, once I knew that this guy and his wonderful gift of gab was going to be my Mike B, I was very excited to get to this. So
yeah,
we're just looking to talk shit, and shout out to everybody already doing this. You know, we don't think that we're reinventing the wheel.
Seriously, I don't want any podcast beef or anything like that. We're just trying to have some fun and get our opinions out there. It's not like podcasting is anything new.
Absolutely.
I actually think that it's, I mean, I listen to podcasts all the time in the whip. Like, it's better than a lot of talk radio and stuff like that. There's no commercials, and you know what I mean? I love podcasts. I love listening to it, so it's almost natural to actually get involved in it.
Absolutely.
Actually surprised we didn't do it sooner, but we're here now, so that's dope.
And when you subscribe to us, like, make it a point to subscribe to one of the other guys too, you know? Like,
yeah.
Just let's try to make this a thing. I think it's a wide open lane still, and
Absolutely.
You know, I've been talking kicks since like elementary school. Fast forward to the playground. I think 90. You know, anyone who grew up in the 90s on the playground, that was the first podcast.
Oh, absolutely. At the Jungle Gym.
You know,
I remember discussing the air bubble when that came out. Everybody was like, "Yo, will it pop?"
Dude, fast forward to, you know, late 90s, early 2000s. We're in forums. We're the weirdos in the forums.
Nike Talk. Back when there was 9 of us, you know what I mean? I remember being on Nike Talk and talking to people, and like growing up, you know, there wasn't sneakerheads. It wasn't even a term. You were just that dude in your group of friends that really liked sneakers.
Yeah, the weirdo. In my group, it was definitely the weird thing. Anyway, fast forward a couple more years, the both of us are on YouTube. Fast forward about a year into that, there was the old live chats.
Oh, that was big. It's actually getting big again right now, which is odd.
And then obviously into the sit down and the panel and some of the other approaches here. You know, so to us, you know, it's nothing. We don't feel like we're reinventing the wheel, but it's nothing new to us either. And so we're excited to be here. Some of the things that we're going to talk about today. If I could immediately cut you off.
Oh, I love that.
We're going to talk about Beyonce to Adidas.
Yeah, you got to touch on that.
That's big.
Huge.
We're going to talk about JCole tentatively to Puma. Maybe that's a rumor.
Yeah, and like, are these companies not doing athlete deals anymore, or is it just rappers and R&B singers?
Dude, let's talk about that some. Obviously, the new 990.
Ooh, that is my wheelhouse right there, dude. Shout out to all the NB heads out there.
But then again, we also just want to be two friends on the mic having a conversation, so it's not going to be always sneakers. And I think that's important.
No, I forgot the microphone was even here for a second, honestly.
Yeah, all in my face.
Gigantic and huge in my peripheral.
We are people who, we are two dudes who love this stuff. I work in the industry. He's a longtime participant of the culture.
Am I ever?
And so, you know, we'll talk about it a lot because we're talking about our life, and it's a huge part of our life. But we also want to talk about, you know, the Marvel and Disney merger with Fox and Endgame coming. We want to talk about Game of Thrones coming back. We want to touch on that. And we want to tell you guys a little bit, being that this is the first episode. A little bit about how we want this to go and what your part could be, and, you know, how you could support even more than you already have. Like, you're already killing it.
Yeah, just by listening right now, you are just on the front lines, dude.
One of the things I want to say off the jump, though, because YouTube changes a lot of different things. So if you're watching on YouTube, cool. I don't
We see you.
I don't like YouTube.
Me neither.
It's kind of awkward to just have a conversation with my friend, all cameras on me. But if that's the way you want to take us in,
dude, take us all the way in too.
Do
you know
it.
What I mean,
but it used to be that you could hit like, and you should hit like. But now you have to. Also, I'm learning.
The bell,
You have
right?
to hit the bell.
Yeah, I heard about the bell.
So hit like, subscribe, and the bell. And then it used to be that if you hit like, it would automatically kick your shit to Twitter. Like, yo, I just like this thing. Here's the link. Yeah. That was the bomb in early like Rack's life. Like that's where I got my entire following from. So one of the ways that I think you could really help us is if you share this link on your social media, and that's not going to happen automatic anymore.
No.
So those of you
got to put work in to do that now.
Those of you who do that, we appreciate it.
I will see it personally.
We will.
And I will come to your house and I will mow your lawn if you do that.
That's true, dude. I will conversate with your mother.
Yeah, while I'm mowing the lawn.
I don't mean that in any way. I mean,
no,
just like
very
I just want
graciously.
to I want to hear about her day.
Yep.
If you copy and paste that link.
Yep.
So
That's going to happen.
dude, let's get started with this. I think Beyonce to Adidas is the biggest news this week.
First of all, Beyonce not going to Reebok.
Dude.
That's another whole bag of worms in itself. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's troll material. I don't know if that actually happened. But I just picture a door opening, Beyonce walking in, looking at a table full of people, and doing the single ladies hand thing and just rolling out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yo, so apparently, if you're not hip, the story is that she went in and apparently saw no one representative of herself. So I'm assuming that
they
means
didn't go into detail whether it was female, whether it was race, creed, color. They just said there were not any other single ladies in there, and she just bounced.
I'm assuming that meant a woman of color. And I respect that if that's true. Absolutely.
Yeah,
you know?
but she could have brought that, I guess. I just think maybe Reebok wasn't necessarily the flex that she was looking for. I mean,
maybe.
All praise is due to Reebok, but I think Adidas was probably already in play. In my mind, I like to think that she had probably both offers on the table, and she was being a gracious person by even taking the meeting.
Makes sense. I mean, Reebok is owned by Adidas, so I guess if you're in the building,
if you're gonna go, you might as well go to the top floor. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. Shout out to Wex, man, always working. I think I can call Wex a friend. Good,
that is
dude.
a subtle flex.
Subtle
right there.
flex, right?
Subtle flex.
Boom. Hit him with the.
I think I could call Wex a first cousin. I mean, last year when he christened my kid.
That's it, dude.
Ooh, you hear that? Yo, that was a crispy sound effect too.
Oh, you like that?
That was nice.
So, shout out to Wex because he's always working. He's always making these deals happen at Adidas.
Yo, he is,
and it's insane.
And I saw his collection of footwear in his office, and let me just say that the dude knows his sneakers. I mean, you kind of have to if you're Wexler, but he had like the House of Pain campuses from Concepts from St. Patty's Day years ago. Like heads don't know about that.
Dude, time out. I just realized if you're watching us on video, you're like, how many drinks do these guys have? How hydrated are they?
Yo, seriously, I think hydration is key.
It's not even. There's more.
Yeah, dude.
There is more.
I'm the Bear Grylls of podcasting, so I brought so many. Like,
don't buy Smart Water until they pay me to tell you that. But
no,
shout
dude,
out to the
not.
Smart Water.
Yep.
Here's the thing. I didn't realize, believe it or not, this is gonna sound crazy, but I didn't realize how important this Beyonce deal was initially. And what I mean by that is, I was like, yeah, Queen Bee.
Yeah.
A goddess.
She'll get a little, she'll get her a little collab.
I understood all that, but I was thinking like cynically, as I often do. If you follow me on Twitter, you might know that.
That's I'm
thinking like
understatement of the year.
I'm thinking like, how much does that really click? With sneaker culture, sneaker heads. Unfortunately, we have to consider resale. I think that's sort of moving the needle recently.
Do you think that if Beyonce dropped a sneaker tomorrow, that it would sell like maybe the original Yeezys did?
I think the first. And you see that a lot, a little industry perspective.
Yeah, like does she move the needle per se?
A little industry perspective. All of these like new or exciting things, that first one pops.
Travis.
It just, boom.
Yep.
Travis has kept it going. We could talk a little bit more about that in a second. But like the weekends, first Puma, gone.
Oh, yeah. Big Sean.
Big Sean, first drop, gone.
Yep.
That first one is guaranteed, right? Yep. So I was thinking like, okay, but does this have legs? And I'm being cynical, and I'm kind of talking out loud, and my girlfriend is like, dude, anything Beyonce. You know, like what's it called?
Yeah,
you know?
when's that come out?
Where do I get it? What not? What does it look like? What is it going to be?
That doesn't even matter.
So one of the things that I'm super excited about is to see that perspective. It's going to excite a lot of women in the space.
And you know what, guys, too, yo, not for nothing, dude, but like when that Rihanna line came out, there were dudes checking for those slides and stuff like that.
Dude, definitely.
Absolutely.
And not only that, you know, wherever there's one female, there's three males. And I mean that like if you're trying to pack a club, you want people showing up to your concert.
Yep.
Or in this case, you want people paying attention.
Yo, you know what would blow people away if Beyonce dropped like a Spezial shoe?
All
like,
men's.
Yeah, like all men's, like pig suede upper, navy blue campus.
Dude.
Yo,
shout out Mount Welty. I can't even think about that shit without.
Yo, seriously, that dude
Matt.
is a Spezial champion. Dude, right there.
He's a great guy too, despite what you may or may
well,
not
I think
have
he's
thought.
like a character of himself on that show.
I love him.
Yeah.
He's, dude, if you ever get a chance to hang out with him, do it. I mean, we've hung out a couple times, and while I don't always agree with him, it would be like stupid to let that like change my personal opinion of him as a person.
You don't have to like
dude.
the same stuff your buddy likes. You know what I mean? If he's a good dude, he's a good dude, regardless.
Anyway, tangent.
Yeah, right. We went on a little. That's gonna happen a lot.
So anyway, I think this is going to be exciting to women in our space. I think it's going to invite a lot of women to our space. I'd kind of like it initially to be their thing. I think that would be really freaking cool. I would love it if like the boutiques and stores that get to carry the shoe did something or prepared in some way to make this release exclusive to women. Yeah, like, yo, you can't line up with a penis.
Yeah.
Something like that.
You got to prove that you're, you know what I mean? But like, I think that like women, they don't get a lot of love. And I think for the most part, all they do is they take a men's shoe, make it smaller, make it purple or pink, put a couple sparkles on it, take out the air bubble and some of the quality, and they get a shoe. And I think that's terrible. I think for the most part, they just want a dope shoe regardless.
Huge opportunity for Adidas to do that with Beyonce. And to that point, man, there are some really dope women in sneakers. You know, I don't even think I have to name drop because so few of them get the attention that they deserve, but all of them.
Jordan Brand put some initiative into it.
Dude, and I'm looking forward to my presumption that this deal is going to sort of push that along.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, I'm going to try to support. Like, I hope they make those hoodies in a XXX or I don't know. I've worn a couple women's shoes. I've really liked it's the Vogue 3s.
Oh, dude, they're fire.
Insane.
Yo, they're fire.
You know, if you follow me on Instagram, I've been wearing those a lot. So every once in a while, depending on how this looks, I might just go all in head to toe Queen Bee.
Yo, if they make a
for the meme,
if they make a woman's size 13, you know what I mean? I'm in, dude. They don't make them a lot. But you know what I mean? I'll give it a shot.
All right, so possibly a less exciting possible signing, you know. Shout out to, by the way, before we get into this, some of the things we'll say, like we're being conscious on this show.
Yes.
To not be harsh. You know, sometimes my tweets are sharp. Sometimes my opinions are too definitive. These are character flaws.
And I will say that the opinions of each of us are to each his own. And
exclusively our own, not our employers.
Yes.
If you recognize this sort of ransom bedroom we're in, not a representation of this brand. Anyway, so all that being said, you know? Dude, who knows? But all that being said, first, kind of compliment sandwich here. Puma's done a lot of exciting things this year.
I didn't even know we were going to talk about this because I don't know how to read. Yeah. But let me just say...
He got show notes all week.
Yeah, let me just say that I'm freestyling this whole shit. But all I'm saying is I've noticed Puma. Like I sat in the corner and I watched Puma and I was like, okay. I was like, okay, player, I see what you're doing, and now I'm interested. What is that when in Django where he's like, well, first you had my attention, now you have my curiosity. Like they've moved to the second level of Leo Django with me. I'm there, like, and I haven't I'm an old school Puma head. Like,
yeah,
I got the suedes with the fat laces at the crib right now, dude. I will break them out tomorrow.
Yeah,
for the simple fact that I like that. I love them. But these new tech models that they're putting out, and you know, it reminds me of the first surge of New Balance and the collabs of Asics. Maybe not to that level because that was so much of a left turn, but like, but I respect it. You know,
and shout out to Clyde Edwards. I think he's put in a lot of work. Good friend Clyde. Let's hit him with the flame. We got the flame.
Ooh,
really doing a good job, Clyde.
Ooh.
And Puma, like you're saying, at least like being in the conversation.
Dude, it's not a 2-horse race, man. I mean, I respect that.
Absolutely not. In any respectable sneaker closet, there's a Puma or two.
That cell model.
I mean, they are undeniable.
That cell model that they just did. I forget
the
what.
Venom?
Yeah. That's fire,
dude. So anyway, doing a lot of great things. Maybe not, in my opinion, the greatest of which might be signing JCole.
What is that about? Has JCole ever been the factor of fashion? Like, has he ever been somebody you checked for? Like,
no.
You know, has he ever killed a fit?
No.
Did I just say kill a fit?
Dude, I've made this joke several times, so hopefully it falls on some fresh ears, but he looks like the Geico caveman.
You know what?
Like almost exactly.
If the Geico caveman got Encino manned by Pauly Shore,
yes.
You know what I mean? Like if he kind of got fixed up a little bit,
yeah.
Like maybe if he went to the Gap for like a half hour, you know what I mean? And then they gave him a pair of like 3-month-old Jordan 1s.
And don't get me wrong.
No shade, by the way.
I'm not like picking out my shoes by like how handsome I think the endorser is, or,
I do.
Anything. Maybe you are.
Yeah.
But that is just to say he's damn near swagless, in my opinion.
I think that's by design, though.
I think so too.
I think his whole message is like, yo, man, these lyrics, I'm just gonna kill him with these lyrics, and like whatever I'm wearing is not the point. Because you can go either way. Like some artists are like all about the presentation and less about the music, and he's the other way. He's like, and he comes from a small group that are that way.
Yeah.
And I respect it, but when we're talking about brand deals for sneakers, like you got to kind of be like,
yeah, dude. And if you're at home wondering, like, why are these two ugly fat guys talking about JCole's looks? Here's the thing.
Listen to me over here.
You want to wear everything I wear. No.
Yeah, waxing poetic about JCole's swag.
But to bring it full circle, what I think makes a good sneaker endorser in today's age, what is the formula for a Travis Scott times Nike Jordan, for example, is that you think of Travis Scott as like of the youth. I think, for sure.
Yep.
Touching the kids.
Of the Jenners. Yep.
Pause.
Touching the kids.
Wrong way to say that. Wrong way to say that.
I didn't even hear that, dude.
Jesus. That's the sound. That's hell.
Touching the kids.
Wrong way to say that, but you get what I'm saying. Connecting with the youth.
Yes.
Swag in copious amounts.
I think that's what the kids call it.
You know,
swag.
Drip is what they call it.
Oh,
now.
it is drip, isn't it?
Drip now.
Drip.
I was kind of going for like you know, our age. We're not old. We're not young.
Yeah.
It's still swaggy.
Yeah.
Occasional drip.
Yep.
But the drip was not something to have, by the way, when we were kids. Like that is not. You didn't want to be told you had the drip.
The drip was like like you need to go to like the clinic.
Catch the drip. Yep. Yeah, that was not the. I don't.
You
know.
don't want a leaky faucet.
Anyway. Tangent. Going back to it.
Tangent masters.
I think one of the things that really makes Travis Scott work is that you think of him as generally creative with his stage show.
I like the way you put that, creative.
Dresses well.
Yep.
I mean, like the least exciting thing about Travis Scott is how well he raps.
Yeah.
That's
like the dude, he obviously, and I can tell that he doesn't have a stylist because I don't think a stylist even knows the kind of stuff that he's pulling out. Like he's pulling out SBs from the golden age of SBs when no one else was doing that. And I know people say like, oh, he brought SBs back. Like, no, I don't think we'll go that far. Right. But I respect him for wearing it. You know what I mean? Like I respect him for knowing what he's wearing and you know, having the foresight to be like, you know what, I'm gonna hit him with this right now. Yeah. And people actually they took notice.
100%. So I often say about Travis records too, which I really enjoy. I listen to a lot of Travis Scott, and I was early on Travis Scott. Shout out to Bull, dude. Also very early and on the Travis Scott wave.
Yep.
Anyway, I listened to him like more for the Sonics, and like I think that's, you know, in this day and age where like lyrical rap isn't really the thing,
and the visuals too. Like,
dude, he's like
his one video where he was like in a swamp. It was like one of his first songs. I forget the song, but like, yo, no one was doing anything like that, dude.
He was like kind of ahead of the curve in terms of like, it's not about the lyrics. I'm creating a vibe.
You're absolutely right.
I'm creating a visual. My ad libs are the shit. Like, dude, my ad libs are the greatest ad libs
are the greatest
ever
in the game right now. It's lit.
You know, and all of that to me speaks to creativity. I know his mother taught music. He's like musically trained. I know, like, he's in there cooking.
Yep.
And so I think in a lot of ways, even though Nike and Jordan Brand, it's funny, like, because this is going to kind of be like my two statements here are going to contradict one another, but it's like I trust him to be creative because I believe in him as I know him as a creative, right? And then it's funny because like Jordan Brand Nike doesn't let you do a whole bunch. Like,
yeah, they're like, all right, here's the model.
Color it. Yeah.
Here's the model. Here's the color. You can kind of maybe do the footbed.
But the Jordan one,
like, oh,
which
word.
I think looks great.
Yeah, definitely.
It looks like they let him do some stuff, or him and the designer that I'm sure he worked with.
I think Virgil, you know, not to ride Virgil any more than he's already been ridden, but what he kind of showed people was that maybe if you let somebody do something, it might work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might as well just give it a shot, because you look at after he did the 10, I think Nike put like different labels in different places on shoes 75,000 times.
Yeah,
they gentrified the 10 in ways that I didn't think were possible.
Yeah, and there's some stuff obviously working in the industry that I can't say. One of the things that I think is sort of safe to say is you'll see a lot of that inspiration coming inline Nike.
Very good call.
Inline Nike in the next couple seasons too. So they're kind of, you know, and this might be something Nike wants me telling people, but the story is that they had a lot of those ideas pre-Virgil, and they were like in conversations working with Virgil, showing him, you know, some of these materials or approaches, or like that we're gonna get a little crazy.
And maybe he took it to the
and
next,
then he like he took it his way. So you know, however you feel about that, well, like, you know, in terms of the authenticity of that story, but I think it is kind of cool to mention or to say like it wasn't entirely Virgil. So when you see this stuff in line, you know, coming and stuff like that, like some of that
maybe
stuff,
that was them to begin with.
Yeah, dude, if you know the timeline that it takes to put out shoes, it's, you know, look at, you know, follow along with me putting out my shoe. That's a good example. This stuff is
by 2028 we'll get it.
We'll get it like some for my 50th birthday.
Yeah.
So some of this stuff has been in the works. But anyway, all of that to come full circle to say JCole does not speak that same way to me.
Not at all.
He's a phenomenal lyricist.
Oh my God.
Friday Night Lights, one of my favorite mixtapes maybe ever.
Yep. Warm up.
Yeah, dude, way up there.
Yep.
Just not doing any of those. So not screaming creative, not visually interesting, not popping on social media.
His last music video was him riding a bus.
Dude, not connecting with the youth for sure. Did you see that interview with like he was interviewing Little Pump?
Yo,
dude,
that is classic. Dude.
It was like when your dad wanted to have a cool conversation with you, like, yo, I'm hip about weed.
When he sits down, he's like, yo, why don't we play some Nintendo 64 and roll up a bone?
Yeah, like anyone who's ever smoked pot with their dad, it was that. Dude. It was that, like, no, I'm cool too, and you're like, so like, is this the coolest or worst thing happened?
Oh, even when when your one friend has that cool quote unquote parent that smokes, and you're there and somebody passes it to him and you're just in the corner like, yo, is this happening right now?
Dude, and it's so funny because, dude, listen to that, how good that sounds. That's my
oh my God. Dude.
So anyway, tangent. Anyone that was watching that interview, I think went in thinking like, why is JCole doing this? And left like, why did Pump do that?
Yeah. Like you understood. Actually, I don't understand why either of them did it.
Now I don't get it at all. But I feel like if you watch that energy, the vibe that it gives you, will probably be exactly how this Puma lands. Like, exactly how majority of these 20-something and younger will feel that initial hit of that rollout, if it's a real thing, if it's gonna happen.
All right, so why the Yeezy worked, right, is because Kanye made it a point to be fashion forward and to make fashion a part of his whole his whole aura, his whole swag. Like that's part of his package.
Yeah.
J. Cole, like we said, is not that. You
no, dude. I mean? And funny thing about you bring up Kanye, who is sort of the godfather of
10-year anniversary of the first Yeezy sneaker, the one.
Yeah.
Which, if you tried to wear that today, would be a difficult shoe to pull off.
Definitely. Well, I love that shoe. By the way,
I do too, and I know Yeezy, a lot of people are like iffy on it. But I would rock the ever-loving BS out of that.
Funny thing about him is I had all 3 of the first.
That's crazy.
And it wasn't even really that hard then. And then I was like,
different time.
I don't think I need these at one point. Now, man, I've made some bad decisions.
I just saw Benjamin Kicks gift a pair to Quavo for his birthday. Yeah. And it was like a crazy gift. Now, when you give a gift to somebody like Quavo, who has more diamonds in his teeth than I'll ever own in my life, like, what do you give a person that has everything? And I thought about it, and it's like, yo, a DS pair of Yeezy ones. How many of those are left? You know what I mean? Dude. Not many.
I'm surprised he found one.
Seriously.
Now that I'm really thinking about that. Like, that's a diamond in the rough. But talking about Kanye, right? So Kanye is all of these things. Like, he connects with the youth, insane.
Yep.
Like, remember when they were calling him Dad nonstop?
Yep.
For like,
dude, when he wore that the Flyknit Racer.
Insane how he connects with
Look at the way that he used to move the needle. Ultra Boost.
Dude. And he's not a young, which is so, I always get in these like arguments with like the egg.
You're right.
You know, the egg guy on Twitter that wants to call you old when they just don't agree with you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 4 years to 5 years younger than Kanye West, who you idolize, dude. I am not old if he's not old.
Right.
You know? So anyway, but to say he's not that young and still connects with youth that much. And then if you think about peak Kanye, he was not only influential himself, but he was putting people on. Like, he made Amber Rose. He made Virgil. You got to hear that.
Yep.
Don C.
Yep.
I mean, he was like he, if you were around, if you orbited Kanye, you are now also, you know, popping.
Ian Connor, too,
Ian Connor, unfortunately. Whew. And, you know, I don't necessarily condone supporting him anymore. There's just a little too many allegations for none of them to be true. But it's, yes.
Where there's smoke.
Yeah, you know? Anyway, he's the epitome of everything I've said, I think makes
why it works.
An endorsee work, you know? And I think
when I get my New Balance deal, you know what I mean?
Oh, dude. We'll go to New Balance next, but real quick before we get there, and dude, that's your show. I like New Balance here and there. Shout out to Welty again. He got me really into the 990 V4. Before we go there, though, what is it, or who is it that you think is left out there, sort of in free agency?
Oh, okay, I got what you're saying.
That could
like free
make
agency
it
now.
because we're saying, you know, back to the compliment sandwich. Puma, you've done a lot of things really well. If this J. Cole thing is
like, who could
true, I don't think this is the one. Now let's end it with here's a free agent. I'm gonna give you think about it. Who's the free agent that's out there you should get? Yo, this is the guy. And maybe he hasn't matured to it yet. Maybe we're like doing an early pick that people aren't gonna understand right now. You know, I told Nike to get Travis Scott about 6 years ago in a meeting. I don't think that the guy I was talking to talked to anybody that made that happen, but that's what I'm looking for now, because he wasn't the guy clearly 6 years ago the way he is now.
Now, do you think that popularity could outweigh like swag? Because Eminem has been known to just wear sweatsuits. Look at the Shady clothing line. Dude. I rest my case, right?
Yeah.
Now, his line of Air Maxes that he did for charity are absolutely insane.
That is a good pick, because however you feel about Eminem right now, he's done things no one else has ever done.
Yo, the two that he put out for The Way I Am with the t-shirt, you could get those on Nike.com. This is how far back that we go.
Right.
Those released on Nike.com with a t-shirt, The Way I Am t-shirt.
Right.
Then you have the fours, the original blue fours that were given to him to, like, I guess, give out. Friends and family, you'll never touch those. Right. The Carhartt fours. The Air Bursts that a lot of people don't even know about.
Safe to say, he's nailed it.
Yeah.
Undefeated
like,
so far.
Name a wax shoe. Yeah. Like, he doesn't have one.
So, good pick. I think that might be a good... I think if there was in an official capacity, Eminem times Nike Air Max
would
specifically.
Sell. Yes, absolutely.
And they kept that shit tight.
Yep.
And they did that shit very infrequently.
Yeah, you can't... Oh, yeah. You can't make it a common
He's
occurrence.
not about to be... No. Not about to be the new 10, right? Where it's like
Travis
happening every couple months.
Yeah, Travis got it. Same way.
I think you might be onto something there. I think that could be really dope. But see, the thing about that pick is, to me, that's specific. We need everything to line up. We need Nike to get Eminem and Eminem and Nike to decide to specifically work on Air Max, right? What I'm kind of looking for here is, like, who is the guy or gal,
their signature shoe
in any space, I don't care if they're a rapper, an actor, whatever, just not an athlete, that any brand right now should be, focused or going after.
Andy Milonakis.
Dude, Andy Milonakis.
Andy Milonakis, dude.
Dude, shout out to Andy. That is a random pick.
Yep.
He does, I don't know how serious you are, but he does command an interesting audience. Andy Milonakis will go live.
Riff-raff.
For like, we'll go live for like 3 days at a time and people watch. Yeah. It's insane.
All jokes aside, if Action Bronson would have dropped those Ultra Boosts with the camo.
So funny you said that.
Fire, dog.
I was going to say, my answer to this is Action Bronson. I think he's got a particular vibe.
Yep.
He's definitely known for being creative outside of his music, no doubt.
Woo,
Painting.
His paintings are crazy.
Dude, the visuals, you watch his music videos, the approach in his lyrics, they're playful. His ad-lib and general conversation, the way he connects with us, from the hefty boys to the more stylish boys to the women. He still hangs out with
his friends from, like, high school and shit.
Big body.
Shout out to Mayhem Loren, too.
Dude, imagine you just you signed him and got out of his way. Like, so he's putting together the campaign.
Talk about Vice dropping the ball.
Oh my God.
Man, did they drop the ball.
Excellent way to end it. I think that's a perfect answer.
Yep.
Somebody scoop him.
Seriously.
And do it right and get out of his way.
Yep.
I think that's the move. All right, let's get into let's let you sort of take the A mic here. Because New Balance.
What am I about to do? What bag am I about to jump into?
They've got a new 990. Take it from here, bro.
All right, so check this out. The lineage, right? The lineage of the 990 dates back to basically one of the first $100 sneakers back in the day. This would be the sneaker that your uncle would cop if he was looking to be like a long distance runner around Pennypack,
dude,
which is a huge park in Philly, right?
Well, time out real quick, because I think I just told you to do the thing and I just immediately got in it.
You see how he did that? I had to aim like for 8 seconds, guys.
We're gonna get this down. Anyway, listen. One thing, I just want to get this in here, though. DMV and Philly, this is sort of our shoe.
Thing. Yeah, this is our thing.
Right?
Yep.
For real.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to take specific owners. First of all, I'm not a native Philadelphian. I'm an adopted Philadelphian. Second of all, like, I'm not into New Balance like that.
Right.
And the 990 is the only one I really rock regularly.
Right.
But, so, like, native-born Philadelphian...
Yes.
True to this New Balance life,
man.
I need you to claim it. It is our shoe, though, right?
Okay, cool. It is ours. But
the
990 series is big because, like I said, it's comfort, it's quality, it's made in America, and they keep up in the ante. So they go 990, then 991, the 992, which is a brolic model. I mean, you're talking about dad shoe, almost triple S like. They don't make them anymore, of course, but like they did the 993, which was a big model. You used to be able to design your own on their website. The V4, which just came out in 2016. brought them back. That was the one shoe that like got people noticing again. The dad shoe. I hate the dad shoe term.
Dude.
Because number one, I have no seeds. I'm a seedless tree that I know about. You know what I mean? If there's a little kid out there right now that is just husky and gully and you know, he's probably like having a fun dip right now listening to this, you know what I mean, rocking some like 990s or something like that. Like, what's up, son? How you doing?
Tagging the shit out of a little notebook,
just graffitiing right now, just listening to this like, Dad, is that you? Yeah, dude. But on a tangent again. But
tangent.
Let me just say that
tangent button.
Yes, I was doing YouTube videos on New Balance, and I would get comments like, "Yo, why are you even making videos on this? Like, my grandpa wears this stuff."
Dude.
Well, your grandpa's a bad dude. How's that? You know what I mean?
For real.
Take that, put that in your pipe, and pull that, son.
Dude.
But what I want to say is, I think the V5 is vicious, McTitious.
Now you got that sent to you from New Balance, so
well, actually,
one of the things that we will do.
It was from a guy I know. We'll say he's not actually. He got them from New Balance.
Okay,
I got a middleman, but New Balance has not officially recognized the kid.
Silly.
Yes. Well, actually, they sent me a book.
Okay.
I will say they sent me a book, which is kind of like the olive branch. And I respect it. You know what I mean? But shout out to Woody at Sneaker Freaker Mag for actually getting me involved with their book and letting me get a couple quotes off, whatever the case may be. And I'm in there like swimwear, like Vladimir.
Amazing.
And I appreciate that. Just getting any love from New Balance or from anybody affiliated with New Balance is amazing to me. Shout out to my man Richie.
Dude,
the
what
craziest
a collection
in the world, bar none.
Dude, what's his handle now? Is it the same?
New Balance 365.
Yeah, so the same handle he's had for years. If you haven't checked, you just got to peep that if you like New Balance at all. And you know what? Maybe even if you don't like New Balance, because there's a lot of stuff on there you haven't seen.
Yep, and check out Quiet Hype, who actually sent me that shoe. I want to say thank you to him for looking out.
So with them in hand, I need your general impressions here. Ooh. What do you think? Is it respectful of its lineage?
Yes, it is.
Is it a good new kid on the block? How are you feeling about it?
Well, they actually they took away some materials, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
New Balance is known for just throwing on layers of pigskin suede and calling it a day.
Yep.
They actually made this one a little bit lighter, and it actually is full functioning. You can run in it. And or you can do like me, which is just crush, SHIT in it. That's all I do is just crush. That's what I'm known to do. You know what I mean? So I can wear them and I can be okay. You know what I mean? I could run full court basketball at any time with these and be cool.
No sweat.
No, but they have cushioning, they have comfort, and the senoritas like them. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, no doubt about it.
Nah, but they're dope.
They're dope. Coming in at a cool price point for Made in America, I think. They feel good.
Yeah.
They got the gray that you need.
Gray is synonymous.
I mean, you need it for the 990.
Yep. Wear it with anything.
Good job. I don't want to cut. I hope we've given that enough. We are on a bit of a time constraint.
Yes.
I hope we've given that enough.
Yeah.
I just wanted to acknowledge it. I think one of the cool things that we could do with this show is sort of put shine on stuff that isn't hyped,
Front
but
page.
we're like, yo, check this out.
And they're going to have a comeback because Bodega just dropped a collab.
Dude, it was so sick.
In exactly a half hour, I'm going to do my attempt at the M. Leon Dor pair of 997. So that'll already be released by the time you hear this.
Yeah.
But let's just say that I will be a hyper sniper in about 33 minutes.
He's all over it.
Yes.
So with that in mind, and sort of transitioning out of sneakers with this episode, we got to do just a quick...
I know where you're going.
Respectful moment of, I mean, we can't do silence on a radio show, but
God damn it.
Terrible recent news to hear about Nipsey, man. Shout out to all of his fans.
Seriously, man.
To LA specifically. It's funny when like there's not a lot of people like that specifically horrible for Los Angeles.
Yes, it is.
Like to a point where like as much of a fan of him as I was, as much as I respected what he was trying to do, like I almost feel strange, dude. Is this weird that like he wasn't mine to mourn the way that I think LA is feeling it right now.
I 100% agree.
So I'm just like respectfully bringing it up.
When you see,
it's
when you see how
senseless.
this hit people,
Yeah.
like all across our country, all across, like it's crazy because when you think of the landscape of music, right?
Yeah.
Nipsey was almost like an independent.
Dude, totally.
He did everything on his own. He owned his own masters. He owned his own little piece of the pie, and he wasn't trying to be on Front Street at all times.
Yeah.
He played his position. He was an unbelievable artist.
Yeah.
And the fact that he went back to his own neighborhood and opened up that little string of businesses and that little cross section right there on, I believe it's Slauson, but Marathon is the store. I respect it so much, so crazy. Like,
dude, you ever see the video where he's like driving through his parking lot, and you think initially the video is about them sort of focusing that he gave this man a job cleaning the lot, you know?
Yeah. I saw
and then
that,
it's
dude.
actually like, no, bro, like hop in with me. I'm gonna get you a haircut. Like I'm gonna get your like day going. Like
Straight
just
good dude.
and just so genuine
Yep.
about it. It was so sick
Rest
and
in
so
peace.
like clearly unscripted. And
Yep.
there's a million things like that.
Yep.
You know.
Rest in peace.
Shout out to friend of the show, Juice Manji. Juice got me on Nipsey like way early. Because he was such a big fan, and so I was about it. I was about his movement. I know millions of people were, but last time that I checked, when that single dropped with YG, I really felt like when I heard that, I was like, oh, now he's gonna really have his moment, and unfortunately, that wasn't that long ago. So when you look at somebody who's had this much of an impact before, in my opinion. He really got the support or the amplification to impact so many more people.
Yep.
That's really sad.
Yep.
Like you see and you feel all of this stuff, and he's a legend, undoubtedly. Maybe this era's Pac in a lot of ways.
Very similar.
Very similar. And just, I feel like just an album short of major amplification.
Yeah,
and
he
I
was
think
like
that,
right on the cusp of reaching
dude, I
his,
think
his
like,
peak.
you know, where my
Victory Lap was a great album. He just
Yeah,
dropped
dude.
that. You can't, you know, you can tell that it was like, it was just about to like super blow up.
Yeah. And I think when you talk about somebody who's that positive, who's made that much of an impact, to me, that's almost the saddest part. So what I encourage people to do is educate your friends that aren't hip.
Download his music.
Share some of that music. The clips, you know, if you got somebody that thinks rap is crap, remember those guys? Rap is crap, dude. Rock and roll. Whatever. I mean, that's a less common thing now.
Yeah, but growing up it wasn't when I was a kid.
Absolutely. But you got a friend like that still, hip him to Nipsey. You got a buddy with some like racist tendencies. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fucking for real.
And show him some of the clips of the good that man was doing
Hell
in,
yeah,
in
dude.
that neighbor. You know what I mean?
And shout out to all the people that went to that the ceremony out in LA. I saw some of the
I could hardly watch that shit.
yo, his son, he talked about a dream that he had that he was in paradise. Oh
Yo.
my god, that
Dude, what
little
about the
kid.
story of him like building the computer from spare parts so that he could
Dude was vicious, cuz.
could do an hour on him. But again, I just this is just a moment of respect.
Yes.
I feel like I'm not even the guy to talk about this.
Nah.
I just want to
But still
encourage other
yeah.
people to check it out,
Yep.
to be a part of it. If you haven't ever checked it out or looked into him or whatever, do it now, you know, for sure.
Rest in peace.
Moving forward, we are just a couple weeks away now from Endgame. I'm a huge comic
This
book.
is his wheel. This
Dude,
is his bag right here.
This is me. Like when I wanted to do a podcast, like I did not want to do a strictly sneaker podcast. There are things that I love more than sneakers. Two of them are films and comics. Like
And when
literally.
when they meet, it's over.
Insane. So this is the culmination of 22 movies that I thought I would never see in my lifetime. Let me tell you guys a story. I lived in Sunrise, Florida.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay. I'm like 8 years old.
Okay, 8-year-old rack.
It's well, if I'm 8, yeah, super early 90s, 91.
Okay.
It's a safer time for sure.
Okay.
Like I don't want anyone to make judgments about my parents. Like back then you like back then you had a bike, so you had a license to go.
Yep.
And dude, I wanted a Dino bike so bad. Remember those back in the day?
Oh my God, yeah.
Killer. Anyway, I did not have a Dino. I had the Huffy that looked like the Kawasaki Ninja.
I had the Huffy too.
Dude, anyway, I would ride that shit 3 3/4 miles to a comic book store. It was right next to a Winn-Dixie. I would pick up my comic books, bro, throw them in my backpack, get a couple packs of the Marvel cards because, like, you needed to.
Marvel cards were dope too.
I would have...
That was dope.
Dude, you know what's funny about this? Like, here's the punchline. Because I would leave there. I would go to Winn-Dixie. I would get from their bakery, like, early, dude. Back then, if your grocery store had a bakery, you were living nice. Right? It was like Entenmann's or bust back then. So anyway, they had live bakery. So I would get like a little brownie something with almonds and a Crystal Pepsi, bro.
Ooh, crystal clear Pepsi. Wow.
And in total, I would spend $5.
Yep.
It was like that then, dude.
Yep.
3 comic books, a Crystal Pepsi, a brownie with walnuts. I said almonds, but it was walnuts.
Yep.
Rusty on this memory, but it was like $5, and I would ride that shit home. And dude, except from like collecting and hiding lighters and knives from my parents.
Every kid goes through a pyro phase. It's a guarantee.
Aside from that, that was like my main mission in life, and trading comic books and whatever. So, but back then, I did that stuff on the stealth. Like, you did not want the older kids on the block like to know that you were one of those comic nerds, dude, or that you were trading the cards, bro.
That's crazy.
Or that you were excited for the hologram cover Wolverine, that one where the yellow cover is like slashed through by the claws and the freaking hologram showing. Like, you did not want people to know how excited you were about that stuff. So I legitimately, when I tell you, I legitimately never thought we would be here. 22 fantastic films in. I'm excited about this in a way that I don't know that a lot of other people can be. And not only that, Infinity War, like, they nailed it.
Yo, that's a great movie.
They nailed it.
It's a great movie.
And so that you've got all these people sort of newly into these topics. They've, there's been some movies, Ant-Man 2, Thor 2, whatever, Iron Man 3. They're like, eh. But...
Not
for
like
the
Winter
most
Soldier.
Dude,
Winter Soldier,
sick.
Fire.
But for the most part, they've gotten everybody on board. Yeah. So Fandango says Endgame 5 times more pre-sale tickets than Infinity War. Like, this will very likely do $300 million opening weekend.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And Disney owns all this, right?
Yeah. And Disney owns everything except me.
Everything.
Dude, they own, I mean, if you think about it, ESPN, I think a part of Hulu, Fox now,
wow.
Huge. Like, I can go on a whole tangent there, but I mean, they have the Fantastic Four back, they have the X-Men back. But this, I think one of the coolest things about Endgame is as I do believe everyone has said, Kevin Feige and the rest, that this like is a bookend. This will close. Like, now you could buy the box set, the 22 movies and Endgame. That's a completed idea, and they'll move forward in some new direction. Yeah. So I just wanted to share my excitement. I wanted to have my OG moment. Like, you don't know what it was like to pedal 3.5, like, dude, uphill both ways.
I put work in for this.
Uphill both ways in the humidity of middle Florida, spend my last $5 on toxic Crystal Pepsi. I'm here.
And you would get the little cardboard with the plastic sleeve.
Dude.
Oh, you got
a couple predictions though that I want to make. I think it's kind of obvious at this point that the energy that they started to harvest from the quantum realm in Ant-Man 2. I think that's going to play a part in time travel.
Oh
right?
My God, yeah.
And so my major prediction, something like I'm kind of hoping I'll see, is I don't want to guess. I don't even want to guess because
one of them's going to have the power of the stones. Dude. It's going to be like Tony Stark. He's going to like build his own glove that can hold them.
6 original Avengers, undusted.
Yep.
6 Infinity Stones. So I'm kind of thinking, hey,
and they join forces and turn into Voltron.
Dude, imagine the Hulk trying to hold the Power Stone And that, like, so if you're not familiar with comics, the Hulk is as strong as he needs to be. That's basically his power, right? So there's this phase in the Hulk called World Breaker Hulk, and that's in the comics. That's like the smartest or the strongest he's ever been,
right?
And a lot of different things provoked that. He was tricked by the Illuminati, which was like a group of his friends, to be sent off of Earth. And he had a wife and a kid, and his wife was murdered. And he came back to Earth.
He was pissed.
Mad in a way he'd never been.
Right.
And so powered in a way he'd never been. And so I have this prediction, 6 Infinity Stones, 6 original Avengers. I think Power Stone in his hand. He's trying to survive that. As you know, if you
have to be
watch,
a certain kind
you have to be a certain breed to like raw just grab an Infinity Stone. And I think that's gonna Hulk him out to a level we haven't seen. I think he's gonna have a real moment with that. But back to the time travel thing, my big, like, that's all super speculative, right? Like, yeah, probably, maybe not, but that's what, you know, total nerdgasm if it happens. I actually think, though, one thing, and I think that in the time travel that they'll utilize in this film, I really think they're going to put Captain America back in his time. Ooh. I don't think they're going to kill him.
Wow.
I think a lot of people are like, because, you know, Chris Evans has said, thank you for being this blah, blah, blah.
He's never been comfortable here. He misses that chick.
Dude, he misses the date with Peggy Carter. Yep. So I think he's going to go back and
call,
stay,
man. Wow.
Stay at that very day before his date. Yeah, they won't have to kill him.
You can't kill him.
They can pull him back whenever they wanted to.
Right.
If that's the case.
That's a great call, dude.
I think a lot of the audience will be like, oh, cool. Like, so he's gone, so we might not get Chris Evans again. Right. So somebody else will, you know, Bucky will likely become the lead Captain America. But he's in a good way, bro. They dropped him off like the day before that date he missed, you know?
Yeah.
With Peggy. And maybe that sort of ripples or butterfly effect's a cool
and
thing.
Other things happen.
Yeah,
you know?
like they had a child or whatever. Like back in modern time, we'll have seen the effects of like hopefully a very happy life for him. I think that's my major prediction, dude. I've thought about it a lot. That's the one like I hope somebody else has thought of, and I hope that they'll really do.
I think the people at Marvel, they think of everything, dude. Because apparently they write these movies so far in advance. That they're caught up to like 2023. You know what I mean? They're like ready, dude.
Right. So we had on the docket to talk Game of Thrones. We don't have a lot of time left.
Nah.
But
we went a little left.
We are super stoked, obviously.
So happy
for Game of Thrones. I think it's going to be insane. They're basically every episode is basically like full movie length and budget. So we're looking at some insane stuff coming down.
There's definitely going to be a battle, that's for sure.
Leave us your predictions for that, since we don't have a whole lot of time to talk about it. Leave us like you let us know right now, especially if you're watching on YouTube. Like, just fucking flood those comments.
Yep.
I'm so excited. I don't know if there's really anything else to say about it. I guess real quick prediction. I think Daenerys and Snow obviously will share the throne. I think the little brother that can like jump into the minds of others. I forgot what they call it. Warging, or I don't know. Somebody will correct me, but I think he'll jump into the head of one of the dragons and kind of be like remote controlling a dragon. Whatever, dude. I think it's going to be sick. Well, like I said, we don't have a lot of time. I had a lot more to say about it, but we are excited. We want to I think, you know what we'll do is we'll come back in future episodes and kind of talk about what's going on. And when there's more to analyze, we'll talk about more of maybe what we think is going on.
And I need to start watching it so I can talk, because I have no idea what's going on with that.
So maybe we'll never talk about it again.
No.
But like, it's sick.
I know people like that, and I know
we want to stay, dude. We want to stay, dude, talking about what you guys are talking about, and I'm really into that. So what I want to close in on is you guys, how you can participate in this show, how you can help us, how you can support us. Because what a lot of people don't realize when you're making content is that it's a partnership. Like you create the content, it's hopefully consumed.
You hope people like it.
But even that, like that's okay. So that's the most basic transaction. Like you make something and someone watches it, right?
Yep.
That's all we could almost ask for.
Pretty much.
Thank you so much if you get that far, right?
Yep.
But I want to have, I don't care how small an audience, but I want to have an active audience. Like this is my invitation.
Yep, we're taking applications right now for a bunch of people.
Remember
to come here
street
and be
teams?
interns,
Remember
right?
street teams?
Yeah, you guys could just go out and post.
Dude, just
all
like
over the city.
make bootleg.
Why not?
This is the logo. Make bootleg playground politics gear.
yeah. Like
stickers.
You know, well, why not? You just go to the White House and write real big.
Here's what you can do though.
Go crazy.
I want the podcast. For those of us, like, if you're listening to this right now and you're like, oh, I want to be that guy. I want to help. I want to be, like, you will legitimately be a part of it. Legitimately. As much as me or COYLE, if you do the following. And that's like, treat this thing like a fucking Tamagotchi. Like a 2019 Tamagotchi, bro. Feed this thing. You know? Every once in a while, feed it. And what I mean by that is, like, we're on all platforms, right?
Yeah, dude. You can't
So
miss
if you're
us.
really into us, whatever platform you're watching right now, hit like, rate us, comment, whatever.
And then flip to the other one.
Dude, if you're really like, yo, the Tamagotchi's still hungry, bro, go to another one.
Yep.
Go to iTunes. They hit 5 stars, even if we don't deserve it.
And yo, just tell somebody.
Copy and paste a comment from another good podcast.
Yep. And the more people that watch and the more people that like and stuff like that, the crazier, you know, I'll get.
Dude, and then hop to another platform.
Yeah.
Dude, borrow your girlfriend's phone.
Yo, take everybody's phone that you see.
Yeah.
And then just grip it up and then just go hit them like buttons. You know what
Dude,
I mean? Use your
just
fingers. Yo, use your fingers.
All about it. And then let us know.
Yeah.
Hashtag feed the cast.
Yep.
Okay.
And here's my home phone number.
I literally just made it up. No home phone. Come to us on social media. It's all over the screen right now. If you're listening on audio, mine is @RaxLife_.
And mine is @MrCrispyCoyle or @CrispyCoyle. You'll figure it out.
And then ours is @PlaygroundPolitics with no vowels.
Yep. So do the math on that. Just minus all the little vowels out of it, and you'll get us.
You know your vowels.
Yep.
It's not hard.
Yep.
And the reason we did that obviously is to hide from the government.
Right, because what we don't want is for the government to know that we're talking about Game of Thrones.
Absolutely. So hashtag feed the podcast.
Yes.
Feed the cast.
Yes.
Hashtag feed the cast. I'm making this up on the spot.
Right.
But if you're that guy, you're going to go like it on all these different platforms. You're going to comment on all these different platforms. You're going to fucking thumbs up and damn, I'm cursing all the curses at the end.
I thought I was going to be the one that was dropping F-bombs like it was my
If you're on YouTube, these will be censored. I think I'll leave the audio on. Dude, if you want to hear the F words.
Yo, if you're 8 years old right now, just
do what you got to do.
Old,
make
you know
your
what I
make
mean?
your own
Do
decisions.
what you gotta do,
To make your own. Like if you're at home unsupervised watching us anyway,
go
like,
stick a paper plate in a toaster.
At this point, do what you got to do. Feed the cast though.
Yep.
I want you guys to do that. Screenshot that. Tweet it to @PlaygroundPolitics. No vowels.
Yep.
With the hashtag feed the cast. I'm
And
gonna
tell
retweet
us.
every one.
Yeah,
bro.
dude. Yo, and tell us what you give us a couple topics. Yo, make my life easier. Tell me what you want us to talk about.
For
you know
real.
What I'm saying? And if you want a shout out, pay us $250 and we'll shout you out.
$250,000.
Right. You know what I mean?
If you've got it like
and
that.
then I'll give you a shouty.
Dude, listen, here's the thing.
That's not I was just kidding,
that
by the
part
way.
is false.
Playing.
But you can really feed the cast. And you might be thinking to
absolutely.
yourself, like, bro, I'm going to do all this stuff on every episode.
And then you're gonna fall asleep.
There's more you can do. You could be ultra, which would be like you feed the cast and you encourage 5 of your friends to feed the cast, bro.
Yo, and if 5 of their friends, when this thing pops,
Dude.
you're gonna be one of the first people that listen to this.
It could be your fault that we beat Joe Rogan in the submission.
Well, I don't see how it's not possible that happens.
And we would thank you
Of
at
course.
that point.
You know?
We are going to have a mug club. We'll talk more about that in future episodes. These will be exclusively available to some of our biggest supporters. And one last way, there is a platform called Anchor. It's really, really popular here in the podcast space. So if you happen to listen to us on Anchor, there are 2 specific things you can do. It might be early to ask any of you to do either of these things.
Yep.
But just sort of jumping the gun so that one day it doesn't sound like, oh, they sold out. Now they want something.
Yep.
We're gonna do it
We
from
want
the
something
we
now.
want something now.
Yep.
You could go on Anchor and really super support. Feed the cast first.
Yeah. I mean, you don't, we're
Feed
just
the cast
throwing
first.
Throwing it out there.
Okay. But you could also go on Anchor and choose to support the cast monetarily.
Yep, drop a dime on us.
What you'll do is you'll follow the Anchor link that we tweet out. And if you really like feeling us, you want to be one of the first people to do it.
Yep.
You just say, hey, I'm going to donate, $1 through $5 a month to these dudes.
Yep.
It'll let us do different things. It'll let us keep doing this.
Yep.
And we'll definitely drop you by name if you do that. Like, without question, dude, at this point of the podcast, if you do that, like, you're a hero. I'm talking about even $1. We will definitely mention you. But here's another cool thing you could do for absolutely free, bro. And I just figured this out this morning. You could use the Anchor app on your phone to drop us a dime, bro. You can leave a message, an audio message.
Ooh.
And it is sick. So if you want to do that to let us know what you think of the podcast.
Yep.
What you think about one of the topics. You want to drop a prediction for Endgame.
Yep.
You want to talk about Game of Thrones because we didn't.
You want to give us your 2 cents about that? That's great.
Dude, the 990. Did you get a pair? What do you think?
You want to kick a hot 16? You know what I'm saying? Get your career taken off?
This is something everyone who feeds the cast should do. Drop into Anchor. Leave us a message. We're going to play a couple of them every episode moving forward. I think that would be really cool. And if there's something you want us to talk about, do it that way. Like, yo, guys, love the show. Hate both of you.
I just want a supreme amount of hate, dude.
just want because you know what's funny about that? Real quick, we are definitely talking to those core supporters that jumped out and subscribed first.
The people that are listening to this one, we're good with. You know what I mean?
We're good.
We're people. Like,
so that's why we're like spending this much time on this. Like, you guys, the people who subscribed before there was nothing to subscribe to.
If you're listening to this, we know you personally.
Dude, get involved. Feed the cast first.
Yep.
And then I would say if you like your extra credit, bro, leave us a message.
And if you owe me money,
we'll rock with that.
you owe me money, we're even.
Yeah.
Just, feed the cast, kid.
Feed the cast. We want to see screenshots. We will retweet everybody. I will retweet them from my personal account too. I don't care. Like, we just really want it. You guys will, if there's going to be a buzz, that's on you.
Yep.
That's the bottom line.
We're going to be here to do our part. We just, we hope you guys will help us out along the way.
Yep.
And like I said, it's us versus Joe Rogan, dude. We're going for the throne, kid.
And really, like, physically too, I want to fight him.
Yo, Joe Rogan can kick like a
he would kill us, dude. He is like an absolute monster.
Seriously.
And just a friggin' genius. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in wherever you decided to tune in. I hope that if you're listening to us on audio, you'll also come support us on YouTube. Dude, don't even stay if you don't want to. Just leave it playing mute because you've already heard it.
Yeah, right?
Hit the like button, leave a comment, hit the bell, tweet it out. Tweeting it out is the jam.
Yeah.
Feed the cast. Thank you guys again so much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Rate us everywhere. We'll be back for sure. Like, this is definitely not a one and done.
Nope.
Even though you've come to expect that from us.
We're gonna
break
that. Pipe dreams out there like it's our job.
We're gonna kill it, guys. Thank you so much for supporting, and I think that might be it. Oh, dude, there is one more thing. Shit, I played the music too early.
Yo, he put the music on and everything.
Dude, I did it.
You see how the music's lowering right now?
That's me.
We're still here.
That's me on this console.
We still here? Oh yeah.
There is just one more thing.
Yeah. I lost my leg and
have a great day. That's it, dude. That's all it was. That's all it was. See you guys soon.
Peace.